That's what Cardi does.
Okay, there was a massive downpour. All my kit got soaked, so I'm not the main camera. I'm going to go to my phone, which is I'm on now, and we'll see what we can do. The sun's come out now after a downpour. We'll see what happens. Yeah, it's a big demonstration, no doubt about that. Yeah. Two devices connected, I don't need two, do I? Let me try and turn off my main device that's consuming the power.
Just give you as small as the gap, boy, and I'll fucking blow through it, man.
They're not going to turn around for you. They're not going to turn around for you.
Some guy's been nabbed there. Okay, the problem is getting anywhere near the stage is almost impossible. There's huge numbers around. So all I can do is wander around and ask a few people what they're doing here.
Which is good.
If I get anywhere near, it's going to buffer and the stream down on the side here. How you doing, man? All right?
Hey!
Stream guide.
Yeah, I was right across the bridge. I can't get down. I'm
Okay,
going to do a loop to see where the end is.
Oh, well, all right.
It's a bit of a walk.
Have you still got a stream going somewhere, or you? Is it?
I got it to where I wanted to get it. Like everyone was talking like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that.
So, what do you think? What do you think the main motivating force of people being here is?
I think that it's our national identity and our freedoms and liberties and our safety is under attack. So I think a lot of people have come out here to assert their culture, that they want to be safe in terms of borders and not have mass migration, but all of the problems that come with mass migration. So whether that's pushing up the housing prices, pushing down the wages. In addition, you've got things the titular issue is free speech, because you can't talk about any other issue without having free speech. So that's the ultimate fundamental.
Okay, so one of the reasons I was out here was I was thinking I should ask about Palestine on the demos a couple of weeks ago, that people being arrested for a piece of paper. So speech something that's absolute, or is free speech something that's applied to you?
The whole Palestine action thing is basically some sort of, I see the wedge. Criminal damage, pollution. It is to exact, an attack, assault upon the public, upon the people.
Yeah.
What they're doing is not an assault upon the people. It's not terrorism. It's criminal damage. But essentially, this is being used as like a wedge issue, right? This whole Israel-Palestine thing divides too many people.
But it's a real, it's a real disaster, with hundreds of that, or 70,000 people killed at least, against Israel, that sort of thing. And he did make some comments like that he was fearful of it, if he turned against Israel. And he certainly wasn't fully supportive of them, partly because people were saying, because let me go on that side because the mic's partly because
okay with the sun?
Yeah, it's better like this. Just the sound would be better.
Well, watch out, puddle.
So and Tucker Carlson and people like that turning, getting
Candace
concerned
Owens,
about Candace Owens.
So it's much worse, I think, in America than it is here.
Well, it's here as well, though, isn't it?
But it's here as well, right? So you've got this influence of a foreign state, and that should not be happening because we're Britain, and it's like there's much smaller, much poorer, much less, I'd say culturally, a dispersed land than ours, right? We've got Canada, Australia, New Zealand. You've got, Britannic people all over the world, right? We've got multiple nations that are our kin, and you've got this tiny bit of desert.
So what do you think of the view by sort of leftist intellectuals that migration is a historical phenomena that shaped, for example, America, Australia, New Zealand, that they're colonised states, aren't they?
I can understand, but there's fundamentally it comes down to the liberal argument of terra nullius. So it's whether you have a nomad people who are making use of the land, you've got people who move in and make use of the land and then they gain ownership over the land. I mean, this is what John Locke used. So I'm with Locke. Fundamentally, are like the Anglosphere colonies are ours, but this Israel thing, right? The slogan was "a land without a people for a people without land."
Right.
Well, it wasn't a land without a people. So
yeah. Well, I mean, nor was North America.
Well, no, actually, when you look at the fact, it was disease. Like they've got this myth about smallpox blankets, but it's a myth. Like if you actually dig down into reference, eventually you come to just some person sort of imagining it, I think like 50 years later, and hypothecating that it could have happened, and a lot of people pushed it because there was a political agenda behind it. So really, you have to people teach this as if it's a historical fact, but it's just not.
Well, I don't go for the disease argument. I did look into it a bit, that the death, but I mean the South America was huge. There was a huge population, but they declined. I don't think they declined anywhere near as much. Much of what people say.
No. It was like over 95%. Like they had cities. They're finding the cities. This is what Graham Hancock has worked on. He's a fantastic journalist. I mean, what he's done is he's gone around and found all of these archaeologists. I mean, people can read his book. What's his name? Fingerprints of the Gods. America Before. He is one of my heroes of journalism because he's uncovered this fantastic civilization they had out in the Americas, and the first contact.
So not terra nullius then?
No, it became terra nullius. So first contacts, you have first contacts, right? Then when people are going to search for these cities that people have seen, like the myth of El Dorado, right? They can't find them because the jungles and swallowed them because their populations. It was like a complete societal, total collapse. And these people who actually had a culture and a civilization, like if you had 95% of people die from a disease because they had no, immunity to it, then it's not just the disease that kills them. It's the fact their entire society collapsed at the same time. I think Graham Hancock's basically laid this all out, and his agenda is he wants to find the ancient civilizations, and they're finding them. They're doing X-rays on the Amazon and finding all of these cities. They're all over the place. Like, there's cities in the Amazon just under a bit of jungle. Because
hang on. So the migration issue, right? I mean, what is the right amount of migration, and when? How is it decided?
So,
is it decided by economics? Is it decided by cultural disturbance? Is it how you decide what's the right amount of immigration and from where immigrants are acceptable?
So fundamentally, I believe anyone who's from one of the Britannic colonies, which are still predominantly British, have a right to return. So Australians, New Zealanders, this is their home as much as it is ours. They have the right of return because it's their home. They're just us overseas. So the idea that we should stop Australians, New Zealanders, Canadians coming home is mental, because they're fundamentally they're British.
Right.
You know, you might say there's like a small differentiation. They've developed like a subculture, but they're still completely.
Okay, where did your family come from?
Wales.
No, but like you're definitely not just Anglo-Saxon stock.
My father's from the West Indies, but I've never met the bloke.
Yeah, no, I'm not asking about that. I'm just saying, where did he come from? West Indies is not. Well, alright, it's a British colony as well, I suppose.
Yeah, but that wouldn't count. It's not predominantly British. It's not like Australia, is it? So there's a bit of a difference there.
But then he would then presumably it was sort of like Windrush type migration type thing.
Oh no, illegal migrant. Like we can't, and that's like we shouldn't have these illegal, these criminals coming over here. My father was a criminal. Like he shouldn't have been allowed in this country at all to commit his crimes.
All right.
So yeah, I mean, fundamentally, the idea of displacing and moving people so they don't live in their own homeland is, I think it's wrong. I think we can have some people come in, but I think all visas should be temporary. There shouldn't be anything known as a permanent visa except if you've married into the tribe. So if someone's getting married, they're joining our family as a country.
Sorry.
Hello.
Can I not say hello? She's a Christian family lord. Hello. Like, hello. Oh, but I love time. You go to the bell, I'm watching.
Well, I get along all right with him.
You are literally the role model for young girls. You are amazing.
This guy's a role model. You should hear him speak at Speaker's Corner.
Oh, that's another angle though.
This is Heiko Ku. You should see his activism.
Thank you so much. Go on. Yeah, go on.
Go on.
You're so tall.
You want me to go back?
Thank you so much.
So why are you two here?
You okay?
Chipped him up. Why are you two here?
Because the state of how it is now is absolutely awful, and the way children are being brought up, they should be brought up with Tommy's values and how things are now. It should not be you can't go out on the street because you're a 20-year-old young girl. That is not fair, and you should be able to go out and speak to people without having a fear of are you going to get home safe and stuff like that. It's just not right how it is now.
Do you have? Because I was asking earlier on. Do you have views on what's going on in Palestine? Do you think Israel is right?
I don't think Palestine should be mentioned here when we've got veterans.
I'm just asking you though.
Yeah, we have veterans sleeping on the street, and what's going on over there is just, it shouldn't be talked about as much as it is here. It should not be. It should not be spoken about. What should be spoken about here?
Yeah, but what's your view?
My view is that word should not be mentioned in the UK.
And what do you think?
All I would like to say is I back Tommy 1,000,000%. Yeah, it is so unsafe for English white people to go out on the street now. Just getting
whereabouts you live?
Down in Tottenham.
Okay.
You're in Tottenham?
Yeah.
Oh, you're next door. I'm in Enfield.
Oh wow, that's
Really?
very close. I swear.
Oh.
I did not know that. You go everywhere. I thought you were just from London. You go
Such
everywhere.
a big fan of yours. She couldn't go. I actually walked past. I was like, that's him.
My brother called me. He goes, I'm watching Resistance GB. If you see him. No, honestly, the way you cover stuff, the way you do it, it's amazing. And the way you guys stick up for Tommy, I will give it to you.
And what do you think about migration? Migration in general? I was just asking Willsey.
If it's legal migration,
Okay.
no problem.
Right.
But when you're coming over and we don't know who you are, where you're
What's
from.
your name then?
It's just wrong. You're bringing rapists over.
Okay, but most of the migration in the last couple of years has been legal migration.
Yeah,
So like,
I'm not about that, I'm on about the boats.
okay.
The boats are coming over, you don't know who they are, you don't know where they're from, and 9 times out of 10 it's been proven they're all criminals and rapists. So you're bringing them onto our street and you're making us feel like we can't go out our front door.
Okay.
We literally can't go out our front door where we live. We are surrounded by illegal immigrants threatening to stab us or rape us. So this is the first time my daughter's left the house in years.
What did you think? What did you think back during the COVID period? What did you think then?
Well, it didn't really matter about COVID, did it? Because we were all shutting doors and lights.
Right. And did you take the jab?
No, never, no. Don't believe it in any way. She had one jab and ended up in hospital.
Is that right?
Yeah. She couldn't feel her legs.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Recovered all right though, yeah? All right, thanks.
No, you're welcome.
Send me your.
Yeah, all the streams apparently have died, presumably because of the bandwidth, but possibly some blocking going on as well. So that's why. So he told me his stream went down.
Hello. New world tyranny, and you've got 4 legs and a 10. We need to break the legs of the new one. It's like an elephant.
There's a lot of people coming up this way now, from across the bridge there, if you see.
It's a pleasure.
Hi, Will. How you doing, man?
Hello.
You got fans, mate. You got your fans.
I don't let you in. I know we did stand.
You can't move down that much. And then there's people throwing
So
bottles
you were
and
asking me
right up down
questions, right? So I was
Is it?
saying
Is
visas.
it a bit of rocking, is it?
there. You can't move down that much.
Is it?
Oh my God! Look at the bridge.
What are you doing here anyway? Why are you here?
Well, I'm March, innit? Tommy Robinson.
Okay. And that's it?
Stand up for my country and my kids, innit? It's my kids' future.
Okay.
Right, visas, right? So I think that we can have people come in, but they all visas.
I like TV News.
TV News, mate.
So I think visas should be temporary unless someone marries into the tribe. I think that's a good way of integrating people because they've come over, they've met someone.
Okay, but
and they're joining
if
into
an
big
economy is
family.
expanding rapidly,
Yeah.
let's take, like, for example, China's economy expands rapidly.
Yeah.
So millions and millions of people are on the move all the time, driven by economics.
Yeah.
Right? And Adam Smith and co, they all talked about, migration depended upon economics. Basically, if you've got a boom in the economy, you suck people in to get the labour.
Aye, but then there are all of the social issues and there are the political issues that stem from that. Because it's about legitimacy. So for example, if we import, let's say, even one person, let's just start with one person, right? So one person comes in from a country that's predominantly left-wing, not part of our culture, right? And that
Left wing, not part of your culture.
Okay, that's authoritarian, shall we say? To be-
Authoritarian.
Yeah. Let's say they come from an authoritarian country and they bring that authoritarian culture because it's what they've grown up in. They're not used to the concept of liberty, let's say. There are countries like this. If that person votes for an authoritarian party and they're in my constituency, that's me disenfranchised. So that's all it takes. So, shall we go down this way because it looks like there's a bit more space?
I just want to catch that bit. So that's an answer to one side of what I was asking.
There's only some people.
It's probably quite a lot of them though.
I think what it is basically it's down to which crowd is out for Palestine.
Isn't it also that Israel is seen as a sort of bastion of whiteness, of Western values in the Middle East?
Whiteness
and
I
of Western
say
culture,
the focus.
if you like.
I don't think people are particularly racialised. I think what it is
and a Christian Israeli tradition.
I think it's this Judeo-Christian thing. Although I don't like the term Judeo-Christian when applied to this country, because historically this country is Pagano-Christian. It's pagan Christian.
Okay, but what I'm saying is that the Christian, like Bob, Speaker's Corner Bob, right? So he's a Christian Zionist, yeah. And there's been, in the Crimean War and all this, there were conflicts in which people fought with the idea that the Jews and the Christians are united.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I don't really get that. To me, I don't get. If you're Christian, then you believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God and He's your Lord and Saviour. And obviously, I'm an atheist. So
Right.
this doesn't affect me.
Well, I mean,
it doesn't make any difference to me. But my view of Christianity is, to be a proper Christian, why would you be supporting a different religion? Like, that religion is heretical to you.
Okay, so there's two bits. So that's what I was saying. One is the religion, and the other is like the approach support for Zionism, as in other words, Israel is right because Israel is defending, in inverted commas, our culture.
Yeah, so I don't agree with that. I don't think Israel's defending our culture. You look at what Netanyahu has done in terms of the lockdowns. And you can be a person who believes in the state of Israel and be perfectly sensible, but I don't believe how can you support Netanyahu if you believe in the state? No one killed more Israelis than Netanyahu. So if you support Israel, you can say, I believe that Israel as a state should exist because, probably out of pragmatism, because there's no way of getting rid of it. I believe that generally Israel has traditionally had more freedoms than the surrounding countries. You could say that. Obviously, there's a whole issue with the way that Palestinians are treated. But you can make those arguments. However, I don't think how could you?
They treated them at all.
What's that?
Don't forget the Israelis slaughtering 1,200 of them. We're talking about the way the Palestinians are treated.
We're talking about why people support Israel. That's what I'm wondering. Yeah.
Well,
because not everybody does. You know what I mean?
Because they've been systematically attacked since the 50s by various governments in Palestine,
Right.
and they've suffered continuous bombardments, suicide bombs, machine gun attacks. And the October the 7th attack was the tip of the iceberg and the straw on the camel's back. We didn't stand back when Germany tried to invade the country. We rose up and we fought them back. And unfortunately, more Jews died than British people did. If you don't stop.
But what do you think? What do you think about the influence of Israel on British politics, on American politics, and stuff like that? People say it's
personally, I'm not interested in their influence on our politics and other people's politics. I'm interested in people standing up for themselves, which is what we're doing today. We're standing up for ourselves. I've lived in this country for 62 years, and I've seen umpteen governments, and I've seen only one really do anything reasonably good. They still made mistakes. That was Thatcher's government. Every Labour government that's been in since I've been in has bankrupt the country. We've had national strikes, 3-day working weeks, power cuts.
Okay, let me pose something the opposite way round. If you were a Palestinian and sided with the resistance against Israel, how do you think they should respond if you were one of them?
I think it starts earlier than that. It starts the instilling of the Jews in the Palestinian children when they're an extremely early age. They hate them. So I don't see how you can stop that from happening unless you stop it at the root, and that's where the children are taught. And it's going to take several years to stop it. It won't stop overnight. You won't stop all those current minds.
people in Israel think 1,200 dead, killed by Hamas. That's why we're doing what we're doing. So Palestinians and many Middle Eastern people will be turning around and saying tens of thousands, perhaps hundreds of thousands. We're going to fight until time immemorial. You know,
the news doesn't cover that. You know, and I don't think it's just the attack on the Nova Festival. It's the significant level of brutality. You know, a little boy and his father were tied together and set on fire. A young boy was set on fire in a woman brutally raped by 8 or 10 individuals and shot her while they were raping her.
That's not true.
Right? And I'm sorry, I've seen the photographs and I've seen the videos that were taken by the Hamas reporters and Hamas attackers. You know, it's online, it's available to see. You go looking for it. But
okay, but do you look the other stuff?
Yeah, I look both ways.
So describe to me a few brutal acts by Israel.
Brutal acts by Israel. Well, an awful lot of it is reported by controversial parties, and it's extremely difficult
I'm just
to
asking you to give an example. I'm just give an example of describe what you.
There was a hospital that was attacked recently, and the hospital.
Okay.
Hamas were using it as a missile base.
Okay.
And various others, and it's ongoing. And quite frankly, I try to focus on what Israel are doing.
Well, I'm asking why the partisan position. I mean, you can have a reasons for partisan, and that's what we were discussing. I was saying, well, is it cultural? Is it religious? What's the reason why there's such unequivocal support for Israel?
People will say that the Israelis stole the land from the Palestinians, but it was never that. It was Judea, and then Emperor Hadrian changed it to Syria Palestina around about 300 years AD.
Right. So it is. So that's what I'm saying. Is it some ancient?
It's gone. It's
Christian,
millennia, hasn't it?
Christian,
it's
Judeo.
It was their land. There were Jews and Christians in nearly all of the Arab
That's what I'm asking.
countries.
So it's a concept of cultural identity that you feel with Israel.
I think it's their inalienable right to defend themselves and to stand up for who they are,
and not Palestinians.
Pardon?
And not that of the
Palestinians. Did we stop bombing Germany? Could no longer bomb us? No. If the Palestinians turned around to Hamas and said, give the hostages, believe it would stop. But I don't think that until they do, that it will.
Okay. Right, thanks very much.
Thank you
very much. See you later, mate.
It's silky stone, doesn't it?
It is. There's large numbers.
How many
here.
you got on the stream?
Not that many. You had tens of thousands, and I've got like 120.
I had 10,000.
You had about 10,000 watching at once.
Yeah. I think the full stream got about 135k.
Oh, it'll be a lot more than that, though. It'll be in the millions in the end. What time did it stop?
Wearing Hugo Boss.
What time did it stop?
Stop.
Your stream.
About half an hour before I found you. Most of that was fighting my way out.
All right.
Jeez, it just ends.
Did you get anyone other than Ben Habib?
Yeah. This is a bridge.
Did you get anyone other than Ben Habib? Any of the speakers?
I didn't get Donkey. I got Pizza McElvenna. I interviewed a bunch of random people. Bob. Bob.
Young Bob. Okay.
Yeah, young Bob.
He's quite mouthy and vocal, isn't he?
He's 17. And he's going through a lot at the moment because he's outspoken. And unfortunately, he's now in a position where he's gone through so much, and it's completely. And basically, it's difficult when they're like that young. It's difficult.
Yeah.
And so I think, like obviously I'm not a Christian, so I don't agree with all the Christian stuff. But he says other things. It's just like you say things, he says things. I agree with some of it. I don't agree with all of it.
Yeah.
But I think Bob's young. I do feel very sorry for like the difficulty that he's in.
Do what?
I feel sorry for the difficulty he's in because it would be better if he were a bit older.
What's the difficulty?
Well,
unless it's like private.
Cancelled from uni.
Oh, is he?
Work.
What did he do?
Was cancelled from study, cancelled from work. It's like kicked out of his home is mental. So yeah, like these sort of consequences, there's like basically a climate of fear going on for people who speak, and that's why I think the main title, like I said earlier, is about free speech. So fundamentally, I think this is about having enough of a presence on the street to show that the conversations must be had. They must be had without people being hunted down and persecuted.
All right, but listen, at Speaker's Corner, we've got people who'll stand there with a Palestine flag and speak, and someone will stand. And someone will stand there with the Israel flag and the England flag. And I know you're not a flag man, but the point is, they really do have contradictory points of view standing there.
I am a flag man. Hello.
Hello. Can you come over there?
I'm trying to find where it ends. I want to see how big this is, and I'm estimating now over 100,000. Yeah. I was going to try get. I couldn't. I knew I was going to get. I was on the other side of the bridge, and I knew I was going to get over.
Yeah, it's because we're not in the demo. If you go in the demo, the stream will cut off. So once you're in Whitehall and all that, the stream will cut off. That's why the signal. We're right on the other side of the river now, so we haven't got the interference. You see. Where were you? Yeah, so flag. Point being, at Speaker's Corner, we got free speech in the sense that you got the different points of view all exchanging, all in the same location. Now, obviously, on a demo like this, they're putting their point of view, but to claim it's purely free speech, and I'm pretty sure you won't find a single person there who says that they're opposed to the genocide in Israel or by Israel.
I would disagree with that.
I'm saying on the platform.
Oh.
I don't think you're going to find a single person who's going to condemn Israel.
No way.
So the response of the pro-Palestine lot is going to be, that's just a load of people supporting Israel.
Well, it's like you could see it like that, but then it's like me going down to a Julian Assange thing. Am I going to a Julian Assange thing? Oh, all these people care about is Palestine, or am I there to cover it because it's Julian Assange?
No, you cover it because it's Julian Assange. But the same people at a Julian Assange rally might well talk about Palestine.
Yeah, they might. But when I go down there, Palestine's not my focus, so I'm not paying attention to it.
Yeah,
Just
but
like
it's a little bit disingenuous. What I'm saying is, on that demo, there's definitely not going to be anybody speaking from the platform there saying what Israel's doing
no
wrong.
one's going to say, you're right, no one's going to say it on stage, because that's not, it's not really the crowd.
No, but if you're talking about free speech...
I was on the stage, just over a year ago?
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
Right, and I have no interest in Israel.
Right.
So...
But do you think, if say you were on the stage today, you'd probably be not inclined to mention Palestine and say...
I'm not inclined anyway.
No, but I mean, but because of the Palestine action thing, you were down there, you didn't think that's right.
No, I don't.
So if it's one, then the other, isn't it? So in other words, if you're opposed to Tommy Robinson being repressed for his political views, then you should be or Julian Assange. So you should also be opposed to Palestine Action being arrested. Palestine Action supporters.
I am. You can arrest them for.
But that would be. I'm saying that would be a free speech issue then.
That is a free speech.
Because if you're not doing that, then where is the free speech? Isn't it just like our free speech? Not that there's anything wrong with you having a right to.
I think it's definitely a blind spot. Yeah. I think it's definitely a blind spot. So this is one of the problems, and this is why I was actually. Where was I having this discussion? I was having this discussion last night, actually. There was this thing after the memorial. I ended up running by this thing. These guys are hosting podcasts, and it's like Anglo-futurist. So I went down and I started discussing with all these guys. And at first they were very much opposed to it, but then they started going, oh, okay, I see what you're getting at.
Right.
Like, look, I'm not like this pro-Palestine not, or this pro-Israel not. I'm just I don't like government designating people who do criminal damage as terrorists nut, I guess. If that's the nut I am, that's the nut.
But it also means free speech for people to stand up and oppose what Israel's doing.
Yeah. And that's why I agree that people should have this free speech. It's just not my focus. But obviously, I oppose the terrorist designation because I don't believe that it's terrorism. So yeah, and I mean, what is Piers is going to be on trial now, isn't he?
I remember you.
As a terrorist.
Last time.
Hello.
Yeah, he's section 13. Yeah, there.
Yeah, so Piers is now apparently a terrorist. It's ridiculous.
That's right. Yeah.
Piers is not a terrorist.
But on that previous occasion, he did call for for the MPs' house, buildings to be burnt down.
That was figurative.
Priti Patel said terrorist.
I was a witness for his defence.
Oh, is that right? Is that right?
I was there in the court, and the
Is that
judge
right?
had to stop it. Mr. Coleshill, I think we'll leave it to Mr. Corbyn's a barrister to make his case. You don't need to make it for him.
Is that right?
So I was like there. I was like properly going in on the police and how bollocks their argument was.
Yeah.
Right, because they're just trying to stitch Piers up. But you know.
So did you go through the whole demo earlier on?
I stayed at the front, so.
Oh right, okay.
What's your estimate for this? This has got to be well over 100,000.
No, there's a lot more than that.
How many do you think?
250, I would say.
Maybe, yeah, $250,000. Because everyone likes to inflate numbers by about
Yeah, no, I would say because that whole Whitehall was really full. So, and that's been going. No, that's right. It's about the same size as one of the big lockdown demos. Yeah.
Have they? Is Waterloo still shut off?
No idea.
My whole thing is free speech is free speech. Fundamentally, we need free speech. This rally is important. Yes, there is a blind spot, I think, and I think that's a problem, which is why we need to have these conversations.
Yeah.
So this is why when people are like, "Well, you have like we might argue about it."
Yeah, look, they're not even being able to cross the bridge so fully, are they? Oh, there's more of them coming out from there as well. Where did they start this demo? Blackfriars Bridge, wasn't it? I think.
Straight down. This big building. Right.
Yeah, there's still a lot down there. Yeah.
Let me get this photo there.
We should have been smoking maggots.
It's annoying, this whole thing, because if we didn't have all this Israel-Palestine stuff going on, I think people would find it a lot easier to come together. It's like those Kill the Bill marches, right?
Okay, I mean before it was class, wasn't it? People came together in the 1970s and 80s on class. You know, the workers of different groups or countries even might come together. Now they're coming together on nation. You know, you got the national struggles of the French or the British or the Italians and the Americans, and it's not the same thing, is it? Nice, yeah.
Yeah, I believe it's a nation state. The problem is, it's whether you conceive of Israelis as a nation.
Yeah, she's got the Israel flag, see.
Pragmatically speaking, it seems to be a nation now.
I mean, they seem to have covered every angle, Israel, because they were, you know, they're the most gay, the most trans, the most female soldiers, the most, you know, you name it, they covered every angle, didn't they?
Oh, you get a lot of militant homosexuals.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say that as well. It's a kind of a plunder from the top.
Guess how much a 99 is at that ice cream place?
English prices.
£4.
4 quid's actually
£4
not.
quid for a 99.
4 quid's not that bad for central London.
It's a 99. It's meant to be 99.
No. Not because of 99.99.
Government control the currency. Right, I think. Is it okay if I make a phone call? I might have to. I'm going to try and meet up with some friends.
Right.
Because there's no getting back to the front, I think.
I might try and buzz over to see the lefty gang.
Where are they?
At Trafalgar Square end.
Okay.
Yeah. See you later. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. See you later. Yeah. Ta-da. Say goodbye.
Live stream. Make sure to subscribe.
See you later. Yeah.
I've never seen anything like this.
Oh, here we go. Sausages are all here now.
Alright, we're ringing with that. Anyone else but me. Right there for you, mate. Oh, you got enough alcohol?
I'm not sure I can get through down here. I think I may go the other way.
Glory be to God Almighty!
Okay, well, you got a sense of what that demonstration was like, or is like. It's a truly huge demonstration, overwhelmingly pro-Tommy supporters, I think, a lot of them. And free speech for those points of view against migrants, for the nation, that sort of thing. I'll get a plug and try and plug this in to a power source so that I can keep the thing alive if I go up to the opposing demo. Was that a meeting last night of a group called the All Party? You know, they've had about 800,000 people supposedly sign up for them, and they've called a demonstration against this demo. So I'll see if they're still there at Trafalgar Square end. There it is. That's not. Oh, excuse me a minute. I'll just see if I can get the battery charger. There it is. Right, I'm going to have to take this off the gimbal and plug it in and hold it in my hand. Right, so that's on. Yeah, power on. It's charging. Okay, that won't be image now, but it'll keep.
Yeah. Look at the bridge though. Not as bad.
you've got huge numbers of them on the bridge there as well, coming across from the south side. That's a pedestrian bridge. We're about 3-4 wide, packed all the way across. There's no doubt this is a huge demonstration. How you doing, love? Right?
Oh,
Speaker's Corner. How you doing? Giving out the good Lord's message, are you?
I am. Bless you.
Is he one of yours?
I heard a wonderful voice, and I haven't heard it this God said.
I'll try and get a top around Trafalgar Square and see if I can get anywhere near.
We'll meet him at the station.
seems to have been a bit of eruptions around where this counter demonstration. Have a look. Counter demonstration here.
Tommy Robinson! Oh, Tommy! Tommy Robinson! Sorry. Tommy Robinson! England till I die! England till I die! I know I am the
So this is a demonstration at this end here, just over there, which is organised by some of the trade unions and Zara Sultana from, what do you call it, your party. I was at a meeting of theirs last night. And they were supposed to be kept separate, so police signs between the two.
Tommy Robinson! Tommy Robinson!
a Christian message
Christian
of love,
message, love.
not hate, not violence for anyone.
So what do you think about what's going on in Palestine?
Yeah, I prefer not to. I am not in favor of any form of violence or hate.
Okay, what is your group?
Just Christians.
You got hit by the batter. By the batter, didn't you?
What the fuck were we doing? We had an adventure. Oh my god. Called him a few cunts. I love you, England! We do! We love you, England! We do! We love you, England! We do! Oh, England, we love you!
Get away, fuck!
Let the freaks out!
There are several thousand counter-protesters. I'd put it about
Did you actually say
8,000 counter-protesters maybe.
let the freaks loose?
but it's most probably Mark Crowley, who can be found at New Scotland Yard. That's where it's based. And then you've got Sadiq Khan, who's trying to provoke us. But like no bones about it. Sadiq Khan is most probably behind stand up to racism and kind of start an action, because he supports those kind of organisations. And then decide today to create chaos, but they're not going anywhere. Right? We've had enough of a Labour government because it's Satan.
What Labour?
I'll be quite honest, I think I'm a little bit in danger of hanging around there.
Fuck you, Palestine! Fuck you! You can stick your fucking Islam up your ass! You can stick your fucking Islam! Stick your fucking Islam! Stick your fucking Islam up your ass!
Is that going to be open?
Small group of larger demo.
Sorry.
Do mate, right? Well, it was a bit when some across the lines and some of these people. Yeah, tanked up with beer and all that. So
maybe later there might be some trouble.
well, because the whole lot is stuck there, aren't they? You know, that they were to go that end and the left to this end, which would have been a peaceful event. But as you've got them coming around the back here and encircling them, so they can't escape basically. So they'll be there until some time as the crowd dissipates. Yeah. At the other end, it was impossible to get anywhere near it. So why do you think I'm along?
Just to check the mood.
Yeah, that's what. What do you think?
Usually I stay at home.
What do you think the mood is? Let me put you on camera a minute. So okay, I'll get your voice then. So, what do you make of it?
I think something is going on. The surface.
Yeah.
Something moving,
Yeah.
I never seen anything like this.
I thought I'd go and ask the people about what they thought of Palestine, because you've been in favour of free speech. You should be in favour of free speech for all sides, like we are at Speaker's Corner. But I got the impression that there's almost no who's open to opposing Israel and supporting Palestine. Almost nobody.
Is there anybody from the Labour Party here?
Well, on the other side, on the demonstration on the other side, there's Zara Sultana and some of the left activists. I reckon there's down there in that crowd. There's probably about 8,000 people on the left, but the rest of it is all. There's hundreds of thousands. There's hundreds of thousands. Not bad. Do you want to go on, Cam?
You were getting your Weetabix the other day. When I was playing,
Yeah.
You reminded me I need to get some Weetabix.
Do you want to speak to the cam?
I'm okay, man. I'm not really I don't really.
Okay, just commentary then.
Yeah, it's
What's going on here? According to you? What's going on?
No side is going to budge. Both sides is right. Both sides are right, and that is a recipe for chaos and disorder, which the powers that be, or powers that ought not be, want. And it's always about the solution. That's the thing.
I was wondering if there'd be. I came down here to see if there'd be ask about Gaza, that sort of thing, what their attitude is. I didn't get anybody. I mean, I just got the impression it wasn't even worth asking.
Yeah, this is the thing. I mean, from my point of view, I can't see how you can condone the behaviour of the Israeli government. It's just, I mean, pretty much everyone can unite around that fact. But then we see this.
Don't get any
we see the Israeli flag here. So I mean, I don't understand why on the side of the patriots they're flying that Israeli flag. because we.
But there are a few people like Tucker Carlson, even that guy who got killed the other day. He began to be a bit critical of Israel. As a
Charlie
result-
Kirk, so there's rumours of him that being Mossad and how
Unlike
perfect
now, I think, that's what I thought initially, but you know. But it seems totally polarised, like you're saying. Like here, what I've got now today, the thing I got was there's none of that. There isn't any in between here at all, like you're saying. It's totally.
No side is going to say, oh, okay, we might be wrong about that, because the reaction from some of the left, the far left, or you call it, to the Charlie Kirk assassination, despicable.
I thought it was
it's unreal, and it's very immature, and it's probably something to do with the age. So a lot of the youngsters, they're not mature enough to think maybe that's not the right way to respond.
Okay, no,
but that has stoked fires.
There is a flip side to that, of course, which is that a lot of the young people who became politicised around Palestine have basically seen there's a huge genocide taking place. Anybody who supports that is beyond the pale, and that's how they view Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, but it's interesting because if you look at it from a point of view of a story, a narrative, it's like a 9/11 kind of moment, right? Where you've taken someone who is a very popular figure, very divisive figure, and taken him out in a very extreme, violent way, and it's almost like they want to take it to the next step where let's get these. My opinion. I mean, when I met you on when I spoke to you, I talked about the technology, didn't I? And I say, like, whilst all this is going on and all the frictions and all the tensions and the black and white, rich and poor, left and right antagonism and all that, right? Under the surface, there's things changing. We're moving towards a technocratic state, you know, biometric surveillance. I mentioned to someone else just now about the Schengen area now. If you're travelling in the Schengen area from October, fingerprints, like those things.
They've had these things at the border now already quite a long time where you're doing facial recognition. Basically, they're doing a visual. When you put your hand on that e-scanner, whatever it is, e-gate, that's like biometric image they're making your face, which means they got it as a universal anyway. Just is it applied, you know?
But the thing is, when we were protesting years back about the Great Reset and all that, that's what this all is about, really. You know, what I see is that we're all at each other's throats, and in the background, the changes are made, or there is a confrontation, and then in response to the confrontation, we bring in more surveillance, and we have to make it that bad that the people will accept that level of
a lot of people
tyranny.
are saying that. Yeah, that's an entire angle. That's the big picture. A lot of the anti-lockdown people got that type of mindset. It's all sort of pre-programmed in a way.
But the thing is, we're looking at looking at the longer 10, 20 years, right? What kind of society are we going to live in 10, 20 years?
Exactly.
Because in 10, 20 years, if they get their system up where, you know, you've got the zero trust, you need to prove your identity to get anywhere, right? The thing is, race won't matter then. It will just be, what does the system say about you? Are you good by the system? If you are, then you can buy your groceries. If you can't, then you know that kind of.
I mean, they don't need to do that though. There are lots of other ways to control the people without directly, like whatever groceries. They can control you in 100 other ways. You know what I mean?
No, but I mean,
they
thing is,
control
like
you
digital
with the
currency.
idea. If you think you've done something that they could do you for, if they want to, that's enough to hold you back. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, we're already getting there. I mean, what bothers
they only
me
have
though
to
is
retrospectively declare something a crime.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or you're censoring yourself. I mean, you can find yourself now. You're putting things on internet, on YouTube or whatever it is. You'll think twice. Okay, what kind of reaction will that get? Am I going to get in trouble? But the thing that bothers me right now is when that reaction to the Charlie Kirk assassination. A year ago, when there were the riots here, in response to the Southport riots, people were going to prison. Their time. Why isn't that same rule applied to people on the on the other side of the spectrum were saying all the things. It does seem like
All right, but all the Palestine stuff's getting done, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, that's. But these lot saying things about the Charlie Kirk thing. I'm believing him or not. That's a hate crime. That qualifies as a hate crime, and that's not. So it does seem that some things are being punished and other things aren't.
Well, as I said to that Willsey guy earlier on, speakers, you got all the different groups, and we stand next to each other speaking.
Yeah.
Whereas here, they're talking free speech, but it's clearly not. It's like free speech, not free speech for them, and actually, pretty much on both sides. That's the case at this moment.
I was there I just rode by there the other day and I saw the Danny. Quite a crowd, and he's you know about him.
I know him, yeah.
He's a anti-negativist, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm not particularly. No, I mean, but I do remember some of his videos during COVID. There was one of them. There was one of them like a Sainsbury's in Holborn, and he was asking people. But he wasn't even there, but oh shit, do I have one?
Yeah, that's it. He did one on the top of Primrose Hill, and he turned around and said, "All of you have to leave now." And then they all jumped up and started leaving. He goes, "You bloody idiots!" He goes, "You know what I mean?"
Like a sheep in front of us. See, look, there's one group here, and all the rest.
Yeah, well, they're surrounded because they got stuck this way. They got stuck and surrounded. Yeah.
Were you there from the beginning?
I was at the other end, but I saw this whole process begin. But I didn't. I was going to go down to the other demo.
Are you part of the Karl Marx group?
Yeah, that's me.
But you say like, which side are you? Are you the side? Obviously.
I'm in favour of free speech. I'm not a Tommy supporter.
Yeah, I
don't support English nationalism. I support Palestine. So in that sense, I've been more on the other
You're
side.
united.
But I am in favour of free speech, and I don't support assassinating Charlie Kirk or anything like that. And I've been doing free speech, 40 years at Speaker's Corner. You've got to have different points of view, and
it's what makes this country great.
I mean, it's what makes free speech great. I mean, otherwise, what is fucking free speech otherwise?
Are you concerned with
I've been
generation?
I've been attacked by people. Well, by the Tommy supporters, I've been attacked at Speaker's Corner. I've been attacked by the pro-trans brigade for defending Posey Parker speaking. I'm not a supporter of Posey Parker, but I defended her, and then they attacked me. Yeah, and then. During the COVID stuff, I went to the Labour Party conference, and there was a group like around Corbyn's brigade, and I tried to speak there about the COVID vaccine, and they jumped at me, attacked me, punched me, and all the rest of it.
Really?
Yeah. So I've had it from every side. Corbyn was on the stage while I was being fucking attacked. So
you're like that Gazer guy. You're that divisive in the movement. I remember him because
he was at Speaker's Corner a couple of weeks ago. Actually,
is he back now?
Yeah.
Because he used to be like
he was
stationed there.
Yeah.
He confronted.
Yeah. No, I don't like getting.
He was alright, but he was always about his thing and his.
I think he's a little bit too confrontational, to be honest with you. And the other thing was the Sarah Everard thing. So I stood up there, then they all shouted at me.
Who was it?
The women all shouted at me, told me to shut up. And then later on, I was doing the chant, and they joined the chant.
You're like an outfit. Everyone hates
you never know where you are exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm sure some people look at this and go,
is that you? When I see Karl Marx walking to a sticker, I see someone the other day, I was like, I wonder if he'll be here. But whose side will he be?
Well, I was going to go through to there so I can cover both sides, but
yeah, but you're covering it as a journalist.
I'm covering as a journalist, yeah. So
do you have a journalist?
I used to have until the police attacked me and took it off me.
So how do you get one?
I was a member of the National Union of Journalists, and then the first night of the second lockdown was a demo here, and the police attacked me, and then the NUJ worked in conjunction with the police to try and take my card off me, and then they refused to issue me a new one. they said I was a far right activist. And I called for the
I got a car mark walking.
exactly. I called for the resignation of the fucking of the NUJ General Secretary, but and I tried to get an investigation into them, but you know at that time the police and the whole system was rigged against any open opinion. So that's the thing.
They were very heavy-handed. You were there from the beginning with the protest.
I wasn't actually. No, I wasn't. I was there from the autumn. From the autumn. Yeah. Initially,
when we had the
that was the first demo I came to actually this year.
David Icke.
And I was a little bit sceptical at that time. But later I joined in, tried to make up. It could be. I thought that earlier on I got completely fucking soaked earlier on.
It's like Truman Show. Have you seen it when he's on the beach and the rain follows him?
Well, I think the rain.
Are you going to go further in?
Let's get rain cover and go a bit further in, yeah.
I didn't think he was going to kick off.
Well,
everything's.
It was true that Tommy and Co said not. I mean, it is partly because of the numbers, partly because of the way the policing's been done, because otherwise they couldn't have come around that way, because it's come around that way to a circle. It's a very bad idea putting both on one street. Both fucking demos on one street.
Yeah, I heard that the other ones started at Russell Square.
Yeah, they were supposed to march down here, and then the other ones marching that way.
Yeah, exactly, like a Facebook.
Pissing down now. Oh look, thank you very much. The rain protector.
What is happening?
Huh?
What is happening? What happened?
This is nationalists, what they call far right, some people, and then so Steve Bannon and people like that, Jordan Peterson, and a guy called Tommy Robinson, who's the main leader of the right wing in Britain. And then at the other side, there's an anti-fascist demonstration protesting, and they got blocked in, so they're in the middle there. And at the other end and this end now is Tommy Robinson supporters. So it's split, right, left, split, as they say. You're from Japan, yeah? So that lot sort of pro-Palestine, this lot sort of more pro-Israel, this lot, that lot pro-Palestine. And the police have ordered the rain. Might clear it out a bit though. Might clear it out a bit around here then. The rain.
See, that's what I'm saying. It was tactical.
Yeah.
His
subject access YouTube.
Well, you don't want to be there. I don't know. I'm like.
Oh no, I'm not filming you. No.
Is that for your channel?
Yeah. Here he goes again.
Why do you record it? Why do you record it?
Oh, it's a YouTube stream.
YouTube stream. Did it kick off at any point?
Well, it was only a little bit earlier on there.
Wait for you. I saw them.
The horses are moving in.
They're all like dressed in black.
Horses are moving in.
They're going to get stuck.
that right? Whose channel's that's on? Pretty Rose. Whose channel is that on? Or the other end of what? Other end of here? You mean in front of me? Or the other end in Westminster? Outside Westminster. The rain's died down a bit now.
You're going to go.
I'll have a quick look. I think I'll get locked in otherwise. They'll probably get them in eventually.
The biggest thing
Something to get some.
That's that pub now, John.
Sealing up my bag, everything's falling out.
Yeah, because they went remember this? I bought a lot of them. Just following orders.
I blame you for my bullshit.
Very proud.
No, we just go back towards Travelling Cross Station. It's a far past that.
Oh, mate, it's fucking painful as fuck.
So,
The other side.
okay, right.
You mind asking some questions? Being asked some questions. Yeah, we've got a little mic here. You mind if my friend will hold it?
Who are you working with?
As in, we're just starting, but like we're just quite curious about what's going on. Like why are you here today?
I'm here just to record what's going on.
So you're like an auditor.
I'm more like a journalist, but
Journalist,
I'm
yeah.
actually on the left.
Yeah.
But I've been covering protests and demonstrations during the lockdown and stuff like that. And came in to see what type of people are here, what they think about the world and stuff like that.
Yeah. You have a channel. Yeah, there he is. Nice one. Yeah. How many people are watching?
230.
230. What kind of stuff are they saying in the comments?
Well, it's a mixed bag. Someone support Tommy Robinson, someone don't. I mean, I'm known as a Marxist, speaker's corner. I actually came down to this part in order to go and see the other demo as well, so I covered both sides. That's what I wanted to do. I couldn't get through to them, so and this rucking is going on here. So basically, I'm in favour of free speech. So I wanted to go around and ask people what they thought about free speech in general, but also in specific in relation to Gaza and stuff like that. I didn't think that was very conducive when it got around to it, because most people were quite hostile to that. It's quite like persuasion to that.
Do you feel safe being openly left or Marxist being here?
Not because most of the people, but there are. I mean, I'm known. I've challenged Tommy Robinson directly. Corner and stuff like that, so I'm a little bit known. It's not really well known, but a little bit known. And so, some of his people are hotheads and will start fighting. Not all of them, but some of them. A lot of people support him here in and they get along alright with him. And one of the guys actually, at one time when I challenged Tommy Robinson, one of his supporters attacked me. Later, we became quite alright with each other.
Yeah.
So nothing's fixed, you know what I mean? People aren't fixed on their side. There's a lot of working class people here. I think a lot of working classes should be unified. It's very difficult to do at the moment. Basically, there's a lot of division. The division's been stoked. It's been whipped up. I think Israel's part of that. I think Israel's helping to stoke things up. And the crisis of the whole system is stoking things up, causing conflict between people. And it's at the weak points like the migrants or specifically immigration, migration, economic conditions. It's all basically breaks down into housing, jobs, future prospects, and the rise of an authoritarian, technological authoritarian state, digital surveillance, facial recognition, policing associated with that, robot dogs, and all the rest of it, surveillance, AI. Palantir type stuff, monitoring, surveillance, drones, killing, all that type of stuff. That's where we're heading. But what's happening, in my opinion, and I think if you actually spoke to perhaps half of the people here, you could convince them that this is the real trajectory going on, that they're being spun a yarn, because you can't say you're all in favour of free speech and then you're not allowing the other people to speak. To be fair to Tommy Robinson, he did say we'll be one end, we'll be the other, but that's not what's happened, and now we've got this going on.
Can you describe what is going on?
Well, basically there's about 8,000 counter-protesters, they call themselves anti-fascists, protesting in the middle there. I wouldn't have put forward a suggestion for them both to protest in the same street, but alright, if it's a free speech event, then you should both be able to say your point of view and go home. And to be fair, as I said, Robinson did say that, leave them alone, and that's not what's going on now. Basically, a lot of the people, for whatever reason, they ended up here, and they're preventing them from leaving. The coppers are standing in between, and they're stuck there. Basically, there's another little anarchist group over there, so about 50 people surrounded by cops. They were bound to be a much smaller demo today.
Who do you think has more numbers?
Oh no, the Tommy Robinson side has got at least 250,000, probably 500,000, and it's a huge demonstration today. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. they're not, it's not my natural environment. But I don't, I'll try, as long as I get my head kicked in, I'll try and get in the environment.
What got you interested in kind of talking about or addressing this?
I've been interested in politics since I was about 17, and I'm a Marxist. I've been advocating socialism. About class is what I'm interested in. There's a lot of working class people here. A lot of working class people can line up and unify if they understand how to fight on their issues. And I don't think migration is really their issue, but I understand why people protest about it, because they think, they don't have a job, they don't have a home, and someone else gets a home. That's the way things do. When there's a strong economic growth, people welcome migration. When there's no economic growth, stagnation for a long period of time, people blame the other for getting something. And if they're privileged, it's understandable that they get concerned about it. In America's a country of migration. Now they're against immigration. Who's against immigration? A load of migrants. That's Tommy Robinson's a migrant, Irish background. Ben Habib is a migrant, he's Pakistani. The thing I'm concerned about with that brigade is that Ben Habib and co. He's multi-millionaire, he's property speculator, and it's that kind of manipulation from above that's going on. But and the same thing with Farage, the manipulation from above is the game that I'm concerned about, and that I think ultimately lies behind the tensions and conflicts which are whipped up behind flags. Basically, they're whipped up behind a flag. Take away the flag, what's there? What does it mean to be British? And the flag is a substitute for meaning.
You mentioned you in COVID you started streaming maybe.
Yeah, I did stream stuff before that as well, but in COVID actually the channel was run by someone else at that time, and we got a very big following on covering the lockdown protests and all that sort of thing, and the police misbehaviour during the lockdown. And I continued that stuff, but also around Speaker's Corner we were defending the right to free speech, and at Speaker's Corner, in contrast to what we're seeing here, literally you'll have someone with an Israeli flag, someone with a Palestinian flag, someone with an England flag, someone with a red flag, standing next to each other and speaking, and I think that's a good thing. That's what free speech really means. This, for whatever reason, has not really become partisan free speech. We stand for one side, which of course you can stand up and represent your point of view, but it's not really free speech. Free speech is sort of Speaker's Corner type thing, But it's free speech in this respect that those who are repressed, like there's a guy who was arrested recently about some trans issue, arrested at the airport, and Tommy Robinson. I've opposed him all my political life, but he has been mistreated by the police, no doubt about it. He's gone out for it as well, but he has been mistreated by the police, and the Palestine Action people have been mistreated as well. Who are arresting hundreds of people for not holding a piece of paper. But unless you can take both of those points of view, unless you can cut across that, which is very difficult at the moment, then it's going to escalate. This sort of thing. The tension's going to escalate. It continue escalating. And of course, that's many people are pointing out that does serve the rulers. The more conflict amongst ourselves, divide and conquer. That's the game. And it's a little bit scary, I must say.
Were you doing journalism before COVID, or was it?
I've been doing. I did a radio show for Resonance FM for.
Oh really? Yeah, I love Resonance.
11 years. I wrote for a Chinese website for 11 years, and I did. I said I've been speaking to speakers. I've been speaking to speakers since 1985, so 40 years this year.
And do you think there's because what I'm particularly interested in citizen journalists, and I'm particularly interested in like what seems to be about a rise since COVID of citizen journalists.
Yeah.
And have you noticed that?
The people who are covering this demo today all come out of COVID. So there's Willsey, GB Resistance.
Yeah, all came out of college, you say?
COVID process. Yeah. Willsey, GB Resistance. I was with him earlier on today. Sam, who ran this channel, and then Street Mike, who's Tommy Robinson's a recorder. But he was before. He used to be recording. We did a lot of recording of the Black Lives Matter stuff, all that sort of thing. There's a guy called Louis Errington. he started out during COVID as well. And if you look at the main channels that are covering these things, you'll see they're all the channels that came out of COVID.
But why do you think that is?
Because it was something that was not being covered by any media.
Yeah.
And the only coverage was from the street.
Yeah.
And because of that, people were at home. So because of that, it became, addictive thing that people would watch. And then, the Sarah Everard thing. That was the one that Sam got covered. This channel got covered best of all, the Sarah Everard thing. Willsey was there as well, the GP resistance. And then they politically divided around the orientations which they've got and the trends in society. But some of them, quite a few of them cover both sides. Like Louis will cover both sides of the Palestine issue. He tends towards the Israelis, but he'll cover them and he'll cover the other. Street Mike, although he's Tommy's sort of right-hand film man now, he covered me during the election, after during the election for the Workers' Party, he covered my stuff. So, it's a very good thing that there's a grassroots movement for journalism that's from the base, because without that, there's nothing. People can make their own opinion about what's going on from observational stuff from this video. Some people are cheering it on. Some people will say the same sort of thing.
You've got kind of mixed viewership.
I've got a very mixed viewership.
Yeah.
I would think the majority of people who are subscribed to the channel are supporters of Tommy, or would be more sympathetic to them than to me.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
they still watch you.
Some of them watch me because they think, during the lockdown I did X, Y, and Z, and they don't mind that. And I am open-minded about things. I'm not like fixed on, someone's a lefty, I have to support them. And I've been beaten up by some of the left, you know what I mean? So, I've been beaten up by the left, I've been beaten up by the right, So, but if you're trying to cover a true story, a genuine journalist is prepared to go in somewhere where it's a little bit edgy and a little bit in order to cover the story properly.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you have to risk your neck, that's why I moved away now, because there's a lot of people getting pedestriated and stuff like that. My aim, as I said, was to get through to the other side, but it's also kicking off around here. That's why I avoided.
What do you think? Do you think this kind of type of journalism is going to continue, or grow, or?
Citizen journalism. You know what? It was actually Lenin who used to argue this type of thing. You need workers, correspondents, grassroots people who report the news. All types of news, grassroots from society at the base, reporting the news. The trouble is that there are archetypal forms that have been created, like go stand outside the police station, wind up the police, or the stupid, sexist ones, or or stuff like that, antagonistic stuff. And in fact, Charlie Kirk had a little bit of that, but he was prepared at least to debate.
Yeah.
So he'd sit there and debate, say, come and argue with me.
Would you describe him as a citizen journalist?
Well, okay, he was from this turning point thing. He was a little bit more political than that, but he did do the YouTube stuff where you have debates, and he did debate. He let people debate with him who didn't agree with him, that's basically my type of tact. You know what I mean? I come from a different perspective, but it's my type of tact. But that's what you need to do. You need to have the image of what's going on at the grassroots to understand the society, and people are attracted to this stuff, because it does give you that sense of something completely different to what the mainstream news is telling you.
Yeah. What's your name?
Heiko, yeah.
What
channel is Subject Access.
It's called...
My name's Heiko, H-E-I-K-O.
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 And I was wondering, because we're just in the early phases, but we're actually kind of maybe working on a documentary about citizen journalists.
Well, I can introduce you to that lot.
That would be amazing, but would it be the kind of thing you'd want to meet up and talk about at some point?
I can introduce you to all the other people, because they got more audience than I've got. I can observe
that'd be
this
amazing.
type of stuff.
Can I get your contact?
Heiko, K-H-O-O @gmail.com.
Heiko
got it on video
at gmail.com. Yeah, I've got it on video, yeah. Brilliant.
Heiko.
I'm not gonna, this is only going to be, I won't publish an email.
Okay. Well, that's fine, I don't.
Heiko @gmail.com. Wicked, mate. And what's your name?
Heiko.
Heiko, love to meet you, man.
You?
I'm Rory.
Okay, Rory.
Pleasure, man. Thanks for that. Really appreciate it.
All right. Send me an email, yeah? Send me an email.
Take care.
All right, ta-da. couldn't bring yourself to leave.
I've left where we should be. We shouldn't even be here. You know, all of you are gathered here today to tell us, to go home or whatever you're doing. I'm just educating you to tell you why we're here. We should be standing in front of the gate. I know. Because you're people, you're fathers, not brothers, and they are, they're
Right, they're probably going to get the order to move in around there. So there's a lot of coppers here, so they're probably going to get the order. So you can see there's property around here. go for that lot there because there ain't all that many over there, so they can encircle them and push them back. They'll push them back out here, over towards Trafalgar Square, and then that lot will be able to leave. To be fair, I don't see what else the cops can do apart from try and make space for the other lot to leave because they're just blocking them in.
Have you got anything with your name on so we can look you up?
You won't like me. Subject access I am. Well, the anti-lockdown stuff you like. You probably have the other stuff. Subject access. It's been non-stop the video, so it's hours ago that you were on. But anyway, you'll find yourself. See you later. Right, so they've created a pathway on the right where those protesters are going to pass through. So presumably behind this lot here is where they'll get them to come down.
Trying to join the sandwich lot.
I wanted to earlier on to see what was going on, but not possible.
Those things. Yeah, I mean, a lot of Tommy supporters weren't able to watch the protests.
Yeah.
I don't know how many are on the other side of the screen there. Do you know?
No, I was down the other end earlier on, and it was even very early on. It was packed out. So
Yeah.
it's really fun.
Somebody said
and then I
3
walked around.
million.
I know, 3 million. Maybe 500,000.
Right.
And that's pretty fucking big.
Yeah, and how many lefties are there? About 3,000?
No, there's about 8,000. My guess about 8.
8, yeah.
Could be 8, could be less, you might be right, but...
Yeah, hard to say, yeah.
Could be less. Yeah, that was clear they weren't going to get anywhere today. But then again, on the other side, see, to be fair to Tommy Robinson, he did say, don't clash.
Yes.
But there were quite a lot of people who were interested in that this week, and that's why this is happening. Probably the cops have blocked off actually.
Maybe they just assumed it would be this side like it usually is. Because
No,
usually
it was definitely arranged. I mean, this I think is a bit of an odd arrangement.
Isn't it?
Like divide fucking Main Street here.
Yeah.
Between a right and left demo.
Yeah.
It's not very clever.
Well, there haven't been
particularly not as Tommy's demo was clearly going to be very long.
There have been almost no heated debates.
Well, debates and I did walk around trying to or something, but it wasn't. It's very divided. And I was at a meeting last night with Charles Sultana, and their viewpoint as well. I was hoping a little bit of like Z-Wave, but nothing.
No.
Yeah, like one side.
The police have said no, that's antagonistic to have a shelter.
I think, debating something would be all right, but this is not what's going on. It's not Speaker's Corner. It's like, we've got one side, you've got the other side, and everyone says their free speech is being violated. Which they are. I mean, rather than Palestine action shouldn't be being arrested, and Tommy, after these things, he shouldn't be. And the South people, they shouldn't be that because of the fucking tweet and stuff like that. We've entered into a fucking lunatic asylum.
Yeah.
But everyone's up on a front, you know what I mean? I'm on that side, you're on that side, fuck you, smash your fucking head in. Basically,
It's a shame because no one's saying anything. You're not learning anything.
No. Well, we're learning that.
Yeah.
Society is so polarised that there's no gap in between. You know what I mean?
That's the way the police have decided is the least dangerous way to do it.
I mean, it does beg a belief, the fact that how because one of the Stop the War demos was recently banned from leaving this area when they wanted to march towards the BBC, right? Because the Jewish synagogue said we might be basically the Jewish and the police agreed to that and stopped them here, didn't let them leave. So why the fuck have I let them gather in the centre of London to directly counter those demos?
Yeah.
It's a bit fucking odd.
Yeah.
It's a bit odd. I mean, it's really a bit odd.
Yeah.
And on the same street, they're just divided by that line of cops there.
Yeah.
Very strange.
Yeah. I mean, this is the natural overflow area for the larger group.
If Tommy's gang have got, even if they had 150,000 people, it would still be 30,000-40,000 in central London.
They could spill on some
They'd still have been around central London, hanging around. So to have the two things, even if you had the lefties on the demo here on Trafalgar Square, and the whole of this place sealed off, that might have been
Yeah.
But to have the same street divided is very strange.
Yeah.
Really, really weird.
It's a bit odd.
And there was no space whatsoever down the other end. I was there earlier on. There was no fucking room at all to get near to anything.
They weren't letting anyone in.
No, it was just full to the brim. It was full to the brim. Quite early, about 1:30, 2 o'clock, full to the brim. And there was fucking hundreds of thousands more coming.
Yeah.
So where are they going to go? No. Terrible policing.
Well, it's probably only going to make the next one bigger because a lot of it's going to come out that Tommy supporters were denied their right to watch the demonstration.
Well, no. To be fair, that's probably a logistical issue from Tommy's side because this wasn't the place to do that. I did think that free speech they were going to do. I thought they'd done a Marble Arch.
Yeah.
So it's a big park.
Yeah.
You can have 1 million people there.
Yeah.
Right, but to have them all packed in this, that's not logical.
Well, maybe that's
to be
what
fair,
it's gonna
Tommy
say
Robinson
next.
said don't have a clash and don't get drunk.
Yeah.
Oh, that's happening.
Yeah. But you can have 1 million people in Hyde Park and no one really notices.
Well, good notice, but it would disappear.
Yeah, you know, like the Iraq, stop the Iraq thing. 2003.
That's about 500,000. They said 2 million, but it's probably 500,000. It's probably about the same. Well, about the same as this.
Yeah. Not bad. Yeah. Well, both sides are equally white.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of.
Probably got more women on that side.
I agree. And the ones on this side look like they want to try and sell you fruit.
So why you come down?
Well, I live locally. You know, I tend to fall in the middle on these things, and both sides think I'm a twat.
Right.
So I'm easily just ignored.
Right.
So I tend to take a nuanced sort of approach, and that is not what people are looking for.
Well, that's right. No, it's really clash today.
You know, for instance, I would say female refugees are welcome here. No.
So in Germany, in Germany, when the Ukrainian refugees arrived, there were people from the brothels recruiting them on the border. Imagine.
That's right, yeah. Ukrainian women are number one users of hair dye, ammonia, but they need it for the war. But, you know, have you read Freakonomics?
No. Who's that?
I can't remember who it was by, but it was about 20 years ago. They
Right.
argue that the reason that nationalistic movements are made up... Yeah, sure.
Good.
Yeah. Freakonomics, can you hear me okay?
Yeah,
See me okay, yeah.
Right.
In Freakonomics, they argue that nationalistic movements tend to be made of young white men, disgruntled underclass, and basically it's because they can't get laid. And unfortunately, if you let women into the country who are unfuckable...
This is very sexist stuff you're coming out with
Well,
here.
it's sexism on their part or their dogma's part to say, oh, the white men are not allowed to touch our women, but our men are allowed to touch their women. And so there is a legitimacy to it.
But I don't think really, you know, or this idea of the Pakistani grooming gangs. It's not like Pakistanis saying go and join a grooming gang, you know what I mean?
Well, the truth is, it's not that we're having difficulty having conversations for fear of being called racist. We're having difficulty admitting that our daughters are prostitutes. That's something that's probably a bit too controversial.
Well, these are abused kids in care homes, basically. They were the ones who are ending up in this sort of drug-fueled...
I'll keep it brief because it's very unpopular opinion, but pre-2005-ish, we used to call them child prostitutes, and then there were about 8,000 of them in Britain. But now that we say, oh, you're the victim, there are 130,000 of them. So the noble lie that they didn't choose to do it has actually made the problem worse. And we might actually have to go back to opening more approved schools, for instance, giving them as much career training.
How old are you?
I'm 53.
Right, but maybe you don't quite remember, but I remember like public schools were the sort of centres of paedophilia.
Yeah.
Catholic Church, centre of paedophilia. Care homes was always down as like when that Ted Heath stuff and all that sort of that story was going around. It was all like care homes where the kids were groomed to be abused. And of course, everybody knows that sexual abuse tends to happen inside the family or amongst someone who knows the family.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So perhaps it's the focus on the abuse that's elevated everything.
Well, when you look at the personality type of an underage prostitute, they're going to be even more psychopathic than an overage prostitute. And so we're talking about precocious brats.
Okay, an overage prostitute you can say
they could be very good entrepreneurs. Yeah, they could be on the front line somewhere. They could be surgeons. They could be taking risks in more productive fields than underage prostitution. So that they're.
I mean, isn't it? I mean, everyone just say it's abuse because you're saying underage prostitution. You know,
because I think it's more helpful to be accurate.
Well,
because it reduces.
Okay, but you're giving them the free will. Perhaps they don't have though.
Well, perhaps
by identifying them as underage, we're saying they shouldn't have that free will.
But when you actually interview underage prostitutes around the world, what they say is that the old guys are idiots, and they see themselves as young entrepreneurs, winning, scoring a result from a mark or an idiot customer, a punter.
Yeah, but these people that Tommy's going on about are abused kids from care homes and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
I've looked into it, and apparently, generally speaking, not. On average, not. They tend to be the ones who are prostituting themselves, and it's very hard to deal with. And I don't get any brownie points for saying it from the left or the right. Yeah. So what are we going to do? We're probably just going to continue the lie. And meanwhile, the rest of the female population is on OnlyFans. So we're kind of taking the eye off the ball. Not all of them. But there aren't many.
What's that woman's name? Blue something or other.
Okay, yeah.
The Bonnie Blue, the one who does them by the 1,000. I mean, it's kind of. Isn't the site? To what degree are the psychological disturbances we're seeing products of the digital age? You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
I mean, who would want to do that otherwise?
Yeah.
No one, you weren't going to get in the Guinness Book of Records for it, were you?
Yeah.
In the past, and that was the sort of thing you might want to do. Guinness Book of Records. It wasn't for that. Now it's Click. It's Click and Millionaire.
Well, she's an extreme outlier. She's an extreme outlier.
Okay, but that's the outliers are the role models nowadays, aren't they?
I'll say this: most borderline psychopathic prostitutes probably don't want to be named and shamed. But unfortunately, with it online, they can do it anonymously. Where in the old days, you'd have to walk up and down the street and everyone go, "Oh, look, there's one of those prostitutes," to put it politely. Now they can have one or two clients and no one knows about it. And I think that when you skew the gender ratio, or a large chunk of the women are hiding and monetizing their sexuality, it is a big issue, and we can't talk about it. I do talk about it, and it doesn't help me. And I don't expect anyone to agree with me.
No, they don't. They're all shouting, bring him down, string him up.
Yeah.
No, they're not.
Again, yeah.
Is that his pet subject, is it? Is that his pet subject?
I mean, I'm a liberal, I'm 50 odd years old. I believe in freedom of association, and anything that gets in the way of that, like a face veil, or some big guy going, "Stay away from our women," and kissing his teeth at us, that can't happen. And if that's going to happen, then the men have to go away as well. And so that's where I'm at.
All right, thanks very much.
Pleasure.
What's your name?
Tom,
there you go. Tom with his views. Tom with his views that nobody likes. He thinks nobody likes.
It's true, but nobody can show support. So thanks anyway.
Thanks very much, eh?
All
Thanks.
Right, cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
How's things?
I agree with you with that the last thing.
We're getting locked in. Better get out of here. We're getting locked in now. Look, get out. See you later. You're going to get locked in now. There's not many of them. They're all going to get locked in for sure. About to get locked in, aren't you? Is that the way out? Yeah, it's completely surrounded now by cops here, so they're gonna, and there's only a small number of those Tommy supporters down there, so basically time to leave, otherwise that police manoeuvre will be a bit lucky. In any case, that's me signing off for today. We did get a good sense of what the Tommy demonstration was like. I wanted to cover the other demonstration as well, wasn't able to do so. Hope you found it a sense of what the events were like yourself. And I'll see you tomorrow at Speaker's Corner, where I'll sort of summarise how I see where British society is going. Thanks very much for tuning in. Sorry about the bitty start. Hope you enjoyed the chat with Willsey. See you later.